Hey, good afternoon. It's Simon Steele again, here to talk about budgeting. I'm excited because I know this is going to help somebody. Starting off, we don't always have it all together. Everybody wasn't raised the same way. Sometimes your parents were just telling you they're putting money in the kitty, whatever the kitty was. So what I want to do is continue to put out information, continue to blast out information to help somebody grow, to help somebody understand that they can also be financially literate. It doesn't matter how you started off. It doesn't matter what you didn't know. It's time to come out of that comfort zone and put yourself in an uncomfortable position so that you can eventually be comfortable and then become excited that you are in control. That's the key. You be in control. Don't allow anybody else to be in control of your situation, of your finances, of your budget. It's too easy to say, well, I don't know. I'll let them handle that. But where does that put you? You have to get control of your situation. And it's one thing to not know at all, and then there's another thing to know and to allow other people to handle certain things. But you got to at least know what they're doing. You got to have the basics understanding of what's really going on. Like I said, we got to find out, where is the money going? Let's figure it out. Let's get to the bottom of it. It's time to Sherlock Holmes on our finances. So it's May 11th. Remember, the goal is by June 10th to have control and understand where the funds are going, how much money you spend monthly, how much money you spend weekly. So once we figure that out, then we can get to the next step. We can make progress. Also, entrepreneurs, jump in the game as well. Get your business under control. Understand where your funds are going, where you have your money going. So all entrepreneurs, jump on top of this as well. Also, get an accountability partner. Have somebody kind of not necessarily jump all in your information and your business, but say, hey, you got your budget together? Hey, you're on top of that? You know, get somebody who will annoy you to the point where you'll go ahead and knock it out so they won't have to ask you again. So even if you're an entrepreneur, make sure that you know what your budget is. Make sure you know how much money you have going out so you'll know whether or not you're treading water, whether your business is going completely in the red. Is this a waste of time? Am I making progress? And what is my game plan moving forward? I'll give an example. If you're in real estate and let's say you have a rental property, you need to know your budget for that rental property. What are your expenses? What money do you have going out? Different rental property will cause you to have different expenses depending on what's going on. I'll give an example. The average rental property will have holding costs. So let's say there's nobody in the property and you were renting it out. Well, while that no one's in there, you still have to pay certain bills. The holding costs, which are renter's insurance or property insurance, property tax, homeowners association fees, the HOAs. You have the utilities, the lights and the water, and possibly gas. And you have property management fees. Also, the cost of the loan. You have to remember, some people don't have a house or a rental property or condo paid out in full. So if you are paying a mortgage, a loan on it, maybe you got the loan from the bank, whatever it is that is attached to that property, you have to make sure you pay that monthly whether someone's in there or not. So you really need to have a budget down pat so that you're not paying, you have a plan to be able to pay that rental property, also the property that you're staying in to be able to pay that as well. You have to be on top of that. So let's say someone who has a rental property and they have these bills. Let's say the property insurance, the house insurance is $50. The property tax is $50 a month as well. HOAs, $50 a month. These are all hypothetical numbers. The utilities for the month are $150. The management fees, you know, if you have a property manager, they get a certain percentage. Usually it's about 10 to 8%, depending on how you negotiate and how many properties they're managing for you. So let's say that's $50. And the loan, the mortgage payment on that property that you pay every month is $50 on average. So if it's 50, 50, 50, 150, 50, 50, then that's $400 a month you have in expenses for that property. Let's say hypothetically that the rent for that property is $700 a month. So the money you have coming in every month for the whole year, 700 times 12, would be $8,400. Now your expenses, which is $400 every month, would be $4,800. So if you take that $8,400 and you subtract that $4,800 from it, you'll see at the end of the year, if everything goes accordingly, you will have $3,600 that you made off of that property. That's an extra $3,600. Now, depending on how those bills and fees are, you know, yours will adjust personally. So that's just an example that as a entrepreneur, I can plan on how much money I'll have at the end of the year just off of that one property. But I can't figure that out nor understand what to set my rent at if I don't do a budget. You know, I can say I'm going to rent that property out for $500. Now I'm only making $100 a month off of that property. That gives me no wiggle room if I have to fix something, repair something, call a plumber, whatever the case may be. You have no wiggle room at all. So now you won't make money, you'll actually lose money. So if I set the rent at $500 a month and my expenses are $400 a month, now I'm only making $100 a month. That's $1,200 on the year. And that can easily be taken up by a few calls from whether it be a plumber, whether you have to get something repaired, fixed, the roof, you name it. All type of incidents and accidents can happen. So you must be prepared at all times. So that's just for the entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter if you have a t-shirt company. Doesn't matter if you're training people. You need to see what your time is, what your gas is. What is it? What are you taking? What is being expensed on your behalf to maintain this company? And what do you have coming in? Because we want to be in the black. So also for people who are doing their personal budgets, this is another key for you. I want to give you a website where you can find a personal budget spreadsheet. It's an Excel sheet. It is easy. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about it. They have a majority of the things that you would write down in your budget that are expenses, that are bills, and all you have to do is plug in your numbers, and it'll do all the math for you. It has January through December. For some of you all who want to be high speed and you know what your bills were every month for the past few months, you can actually go back all the way to January on this spreadsheet and fill it all in and catch up to May. And you can punch in your income, it'll add it up. It has a spot for just about every place you spent money on throughout the year. That website is www.vertex42.com. www.vertex42.com. They have a personal budget spreadsheet on that website. Take your time, go through it, and find that personal budget spreadsheet. When you go to that website, you'll see all type of other spreadsheets and templates for all type of financial situations. You name it. There's plenty more on there. But for the personal one, get the personal budget spreadsheet. You will love it. You'll be so excited that you found it. You'll start punching your information in there, and you'll be able to realize that you can keep up with your checking account, savings account, you name it. You can keep up with all that information on that personal budget spreadsheet. And when your numbers don't add up to what's in your checking account, that means something's not right. So there's a way to have your own personal checks and balances for yourself. Something's not adding up. So let's get to the bottom of it. Let's find out where that money is going. You should be excited about being able to do that, especially if you haven't been doing it. Let's make sure that we tend to our business. Let's make sure we find out what's going on with us. Like I told you, if you don't, no one else will. So your finances, that's your baby. You got to take care of your baby. You have to take control and find out whether or not that baby is getting healthy or whether it's not nutritious, whether it's malnutritious. We got to do the best that we can do with what God has blessed us with. So either way, remember, it's your baby. You got to take care of it. You're responsible at the end of the day. Also, find out. I want to hear back from y'all. When you do this budget check, are you spending too much at the gas station? Did you find out that you possibly bought too many drinks and that you could have just went to Sam's Club and bought them wholesale instead of buying individual drinks throughout the week and throughout the month? You know, is your light bill too high? Are the kids leaving the lights on? Is the AC too low? You know, is there an adjustment that y'all can make in the house to make it a little bit better for yourself? Check with those credit card companies. See what those interest rates are at. Are they too high? Is there a way that you can get it lowered? Let's get that budget intact. That way we can move on to the next step, because what we want to do is have more money coming in than we have expenses going out. And the problem right now is we have too many people where you have more going out than what you actually have coming in. All right, let's get on top of it, and I can't wait to hear back from you.